Um, the Bowman Center Associates are all volunteers. Starting over a decade ago, we've grown from a small group of active people to a formally incorporated entity with demonstrated collaborations with First Nations, with academics, with governments, with other think tanks, and with many companies. In the spirit of peace and friendship, we honor the Anishinaabe of the Three Fires Confederacy, on whose traditional territory our office is located. Our founder, Dr. Clem Bowman, repeatedly summarized our mission in just 2 words: saving Canada. I could spend a lot of time explaining our mission, and all I will add right now is that our emphasis is on energy, the Canadian economy, and our shared environment. What I will share today is the results of contributions of many people. To all these people listed here, thank you. When we described Canada's existing energy system in our earlier publications, we realized there were 3 important linkages, 3 important system chains. This chart shows them. First is our electrical resources shown on the left-hand side of the chart. Canada has a full suite of electrical generation capabilities. We know that all of them will be important in the future as our manufacturing sectors depend more and more on electricity. We have highlighted Canada's strength in hydroelectric power generation that is used for energy storage as well as on-demand generation. The subset of this system chain in blue can and should incorporate batteries and hydrogen for energy storage as well as for power for the future of Canadian transportation. The second resource is our hydrocarbon wealth, with particular focus on the Alberta oil sands bitumen. We've delivered the message that it should be used for value-added manufacturing, particularly for durable goods such as carbon fiber and asphalt for domestic and export markets. We know already that asphalt from bitumen is a premium product that delivers superior road surfaces. The asphalt market in Canada tends to be regional in nature and would benefit from greater interprovincial trade in asphalt as a binder for road construction. The third resource is again within the robust set of electrical generation opportunities we have in Canada. We see the need for long-distance electricity transmission through a Canadian grid. The report we are releasing today is based on the 3 energy system chains I just described. We have undertaken evaluations of the 3 nation-building projects that align with the 3 energy system chains. The first nation-building project is towards a Canadian national energy grid. In short, this project will collect Canada's electrical generation capacity into a national grid. This will allow for distribution and use in domestic markets from coast to coast to coast. It will prevent stranding of electrical generation assets in any region of Canada, and it will reinforce our export market. We aren't alone in proposing such a project. In a short while, the Canadian Society of Senior Engineers with Guy Van Oitven will be speaking to a similar proposal. And the University of Calgary School of Public Policy is proposing a Northern Corridor project. Over the last few years, another grassroots group has taken up a similar project called the Sea to Sea to Sea Unity Corridor. And I must note that all the major federal political parties have had some form of energy corridor in their election platforms. Our second nation-building project is the storage of hydrogen in salt caverns. We know that the current Canadian set of electrical generation sources is, on average, over 80% free of GHG emissions. And we know that at times, such as overnight in Ontario, there are no greenhouse gas emissions. We propose to use low-emission electricity to generate hydrogen. We need to have massive bulk storage of hydrogen to make it available to achieve, first of all, short-term energy arbitrage and replace natural gas peaker plants. And secondly, we need massive bulk storage of hydrogen to support new markets for hydrogen that will contribute to a decarbonized Canadian economy. Our third nation-building project is to create a whole new industry in Canada. The same properties that make bitumen difficult to refine into fuels are the properties favored for making carbon fiber. As a simple explanation of the economics of this project, Western Canada Select is trading at about $80 per barrel now this month, based on a very quick analysis through Google. And general purpose carbon fiber is available at $20 to $30 per kilogram, according to some sources, which, again, just found on Google. This is not a detailed feasibility study. A national grid, commercial use of salt caverns for hydrogen storage for new markets, and a new carbon fiber industry in Canada are all what we would call big projects. They're not something that our think tank of just 22 volunteers can achieve. We know from our experience and from our research that big projects have these 5 characteristics. 1, they sustain and grow our quality of life over the long term. 2, they take a long time to complete and start delivering benefits. 3, the costs usually exceed the financial resources of a single company. And 4, big projects benefit from active collaboration. A consortia of companies, for example, a public and private partnership, and of course, active engagement with First Nations are needed. Finally, number 5, we learn from Canada's past that time and time again, it is visionary leadership that holds everything together to deliver all of these benefits to Canada. Recognizing our own limits, we still decided to take action. We created teams to be the visionary for each nation-building project. We gave each project the detail needed to allow for a structured evaluation. And we collected evaluations from others. Now we are ready to release our report, Canada, Evaluation of 3 Nation-Building Projects. And today, we share the results with you. I must note that the project descriptions that were evaluated are short, perhaps just a few pages each. And while supportable by various studies and examples, we do not have a completed feasibility study for each of these nation-building projects. We used ProGrid methodology for a project. We have used this methodology in previous publications, and we know it is tremendously powerful for evaluation of nation-building projects. ProGrid takes us through a structured process. We're not simply collecting opinions, nor doing a focus group. ProGrid forces us to consider many aspects and influences on the decision. We know that some of the elements of the evaluation matrix include the important ESG, or environment, social, society, and governance reporting expectations. And our evaluation matrix adds other elements to the process. ProGrid automatically provides an evaluated position of a project under 2 overarching and potentially competing objectives. We don't need to conduct one process for an environmental objective and another process for an economic objective. Finally, ProGrid delivers a visual result that can and should lead to discussion and commitment to take action. This is the evaluation matrix we used. The left-hand column shows the 3 aspects of economic performance or outcome that were evaluated. And the right-hand column shows the 3 aspects of environmental performance or outcome that were evaluated. And the center column shows the societal aspects that are actually the enablers of a project to proceed. Canada needs to be ready to launch and then deliver nation-building projects. The aspects in the center column allow our evaluators a framework to determine if Canada is ready for the project. Finally, ProGrid methodology gives us a clear visual presentation of the results. The objective of a sustainable energy future for Canada is in the upper right corner of this chart. ProGrid uses weighting and measures of variability to calculate the responses of the evaluators and plot the results in 2 dimensions. The thoughts and explanations of the evaluators are captured throughout the ProGrid evaluation process, so discussions and review can be based on reality, not guesswork. Now I'll turn to the results of our 2 years of effort to evaluate 3 nation-building projects. The red spot on this chart shows that the nation-building project of a Canadian national electrical grid lands within Canada's energy future. This project will deliver economic and environmental performance. Canada's sustainable energy future is in the upper right-hand corner, recall. You can see the clustering of the evaluations. And yes, there are outliers, but all that means to us is that we have to have discussions to understand what they know that needs to be included in the Canadian National Electricity Grid project. The nation-building project of hydrogen gas storage in salt caverns is also part of Canada's energy future. The green triangle in the upper right corner represents the evaluation of the visionary team from the Bowman Centre for Sustainable Energy. And yes, there is a difference between our evaluation and the average of all the evaluations as represented by the red dot. But the opportunity we have described will contribute to Canada's economic and environmental performance. Finally, we considered the new nation-building project of carbon fibers from Alberta oil sands bitumen. Our visionary team is again optimistic, as demonstrated by the green triangle in the upper right-hand corner. The spread of the other evaluations shows that there isn't a consensus. It is clear that there needs to be more work to move the project into a commercial status. And how did the 3 nation-building projects compare one to the other? This chart shows the 3 positions of the average of the evaluations. All 3 nation-building projects can contribute to a sustainable energy future, thus saving Canada. It's important to note that the projects are not mutually exclusive, nor are they sequential, meaning that one must be done before the other. We can, and our opinion is we should, push forward on all 3. And here is how we, the Bowman Centre for Sustainable Energy, will push forward. We will find collaborators for these nation-building projects. And I'm pleased to announce that the Bowman Centre for Sustainable Energy is using this event, courtesy of the IEEE Toronto section, and with the support of CAE and the Canadian Society of Senior Engineers, to release our new report, Canada Evaluating 3 Nation-Building Projects. The report of this multi-year project is available for download from our website, bowmancentre.com. And to achieve widespread distribution of the report, it's free. Before drawing my presentation to a close, I'll take a moment to speak regarding Dr. Richard Marceau. It was my pleasure to meet him through our joint involvement with the Bowman Centre. We acknowledge his leadership by naming this recurring energy symposium in his honor. And I also take a moment to share our deep respect for our founder, Dr. Clem Bowman, who passed away on October 7th of this year, just 7 weeks ago. And we miss him. And again, the Bowman Centre for Sustainable Energy appreciates the support of IEEE Canada Toronto section and the ongoing collaboration with IEEE Canada, the Canadian Academy of Engineers, and the Canadian Society of Senior Engineers. In particular, I thank Dr. Micah Lukian for her guidance and assistance in making the connections with IEEE Canada Toronto section. And finally, our new report, Canada, evaluating 3 nation-building projects, is available for free download from our website.